You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's The Bachelor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Bachelor After Show.
All right, is it true love or is it just reality TV true love? What's up, guys? It is JC for The Bachelor After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. And tonight, we've got Ben getting married, the softer side of Courtney, and Ben and Bobby's bromance. But first, let's start off with a few intros. Joining me to my right, we've kind of played musical chairs this week. We have the lovely intimacy and relationship expert, Jenna Couture. Jenna, what's going on? Bravo, let's clap. Let's clap, there we go.
Thank you.
And joining me, my nemesis, my arch enemy.
You said it right this time.
I know. I practiced all week. Miss Canden Bliss.
Hey, guys.
Canden.
Hey.
And joining us today, yes, we have a newbie, but this boy is gonna bring it. This boy's got so many goods. I'm telling you, he's got the 411 on lockdown, whatever that means. Mr. Bobby, can I say it? Willing and Kaple. I did it. Bobby Kaple.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us, Bobby.
I'm happy to be here.
Bobby's a Bachelor fanatic.
Yes,
guys.
Absolutely.
Seen every episode?
Every episode since season 1.
Oh, boy.
He's even a little close to our current Bachelor. We're going to talk about that later.
Woo!
That's what they call a tease.
Yes, fantastic tease it is. And we can't forget the guy running the 1s and 2s, Mr. Ronnie Jr. What is up, Ronnie?
Hey.
What's
All right,
up, guys?
Ronnie, we're going to school you on some Bachelorness. I know you've
Do
been
it.
dying to know. You ask me every single day, what goes on in The Bachelor? Well, you're going to find out now
We got to keep
firsthand.
him in the loop.
I watched a little bit of season 2, but I haven't watched season 16. So yeah, school me.
Wow, season 2.
Yeah, back in the 90s. No, I'm
That's a
kidding.
slow
Which
gap.
Bachelor was that?
That was Aaron Burge.
Very good.
Yes,
Oh,
the
look
car
at
dealer.
you.
Oh,
Who is Aaron Burge?
I know, you know what? We should do like a Jeopardy
We should do a Bachelor Jeopardy.
because I think he may take me.
New game.
I got you. But
I know, I'm lame.
Yes,
Except
but
for Tristan Ryan. Why do they call her Kristen?
See, you can't
I don't
get-
even know.
All right, Miss Nemesis. Let's start off. So what do you want me to start with? Let's start with, of course, Lindsay. This is the final 4, guys.
Final 4. We're going to court. We're courtside for the final game.
That is so Dick Vitale. Wow.
That was clever.
I'm your color commentary for the night. Thank you very much.
That's right, because you wear jewel tones. Okay, another joke. All right, guys. What were your thoughts going into this? Did you guys have a feeling who might?
I was super nervous. I mean, the way that they teased it last week, I knew it wasn't going to be a good week for my favorite girl.
Courtney?
And by the way, the reason that we were sitting like this, in case you guys are wondering, is because this is Team Courtney over there, and this is Team Anti-Courtney over here. So.
Come on, she didn't win you over this time?
Yeah. We're going to be talking about it in depth.
We'll talk about that in a little while.
All right, so let's start off with our first final 4.
Me reincarnated.
Oh, God, you're such a
Lindsay.
homer.
A homer?
Yes, because she rode on a horse since episode 1. You have loved her since day 1.
I have loved her, but you know what? She kind of dulled down for me at the beginning. I was so excited about her when she rode in on the horse, and then she just kind of went away, and I didn't really see the connection between the two of them. But now I really do, and I feel like she is breaking down whatever walls that she was holding up, because she's been really tough. Like, she wasn't feminine. She was very tough and used that to her advantage to, I think, keep her feelings out of this whole process until now, which is smart. That's why she hasn't been affected by this whole process, is because she kept it. You know, she allowed herself to connect with him, but she didn't release her emotions too much to where she could get hurt. So I like this place that she's at right now. Obviously, I loved her date. Like, I wrote like
had the
dream
funnest
date,
date.
like dream date. She's coming up on a horse. In case Bobby doesn't know, I ride horses. I have since I was 5.
Okay.
So I have a horse back home. Like he's on my
What's his
phone.
name?
His name is Amtrak. He's right here.
Amtrak.
Yeah, like
Very
the
nice.
train. I've given him a few plugs before. I told him about. I know.
Does he have a Twitter account?
See, he has a Facebook actually.
Oh,
You
okay.
should get him a Twitter account. I'm serious.
I should. They should tweet Amtrak. But I just felt like this would have been what my hometown date would be if I were to be on The Bachelor. Like bringing a guy home to meet my family, and there's a bonfire, which actually happened when I brought my boyfriend home for Thanksgiving. Bonfire.
And
we
you have
ride
carriage races?
We ride horses. Well, I don't know about the carriage, but I just felt like a real connection with that date, and it was very real.
I like the carriage races myself, and
It was so fun.
But even before that, when she was teaching Ben on how to would you call that bridling a horse? Is that like when they're
I don't
putting
know
the,
what that was.
She was
You-
tacking up,
that what
kind
they
of.
call it
It's
these
called
days?
it's called tacking up. But I've never saddled a horse for a carriage, so I don't know that that's what they really call it. I mean, I ride equestrian, so when she was coming up, when she was posting,
I think she
like,
was
sitting
riding
down-
side saddle on him.
She
on
was.
his knee
She
coming in.
was.
Oh.
No, I'm only bringing this up because was it you or Jenna that brought it up in previous weeks that the key is teaching each other something.
Yeah, we've both brought it up.
Yeah, and the fact that she's teaching them something, they're sharing those types of moments.
Bonding.
Yes.
But he was
I did.
kind of
I
like.
finally saw it this time. I finally saw the chemistry.
But he was kind of like, oh, how do you do that? Like, oh, that's cool, okay. Like he was really hands off. Like she's tough enough to where she can handle it, but he really didn't try to help that much. Like,
I'm worried. I'm worried about her
why?
because she still keeps talking about the broken heart.
Right.
I know. I want to know more about this broken heart. Like,
It was
what
the
happened?
text. It was the text.
Right.
It couldn't have just been the tips. They lived together. They had to have more of just a
Welcome to Dumpsville, population U.
babe.
Over a text message.
Yeah.
I
And
think we
then-
learned 2 things from this date.
What's that?
One, Lindsay exclusively travels by horseback. Period. Constantly, which is fine.
Okay.
2, her dad rocks.
Her dad is
does.
awesome.
Her family
so
won me
cool.
over. Her
Oh, yeah.
family was my favorite.
I mean, as
fun.
far as like a guy's perspective on what you want in your
Yeah.
girl's dad, you cannot beat that guy. He was so nice, warm, inviting, funny,
I think
self-deprecating.
it would sway. I would think it would sway him. I like he said he could see himself with her family.
Right.
Well, when you get married to a person, you don't just get married to that person. You marry into a family, and you want to pick a good family to. You're going to be spending half of your holidays with those people. So.
Well, I mean, at my house,
like
we
at
would have
least 6 days
we
a
would
year.
have played a game of football, or something, because my dad's a football player, and my big brothers that play football and all that kind of stuff. So that would have been my competition. But I think to have some kind of competition at home is really good to see. Like it's good to see the family and in a competition mode. It's a good bonding experience and kind of lets you see people's
What did
personalities.
he say? Like you have to talk trash when you go
Yeah.
out there.
Right.
Like he
That was
was
great.
so funny.
Do you
and
think
Ben was
that-
like, I just met you.
Do you think the carriage rides were a family tradition or a producer plot?
Ooh.
I wrote that down. I was thinking.
No,
What do you think?
I want to believe that it's a family tradition.
Yeah, I
Because
don't
they
think
pull
they
them
would've just-
home too. Like the loser has to. They were too competitive to just
think-
have seen that for the first
And
time.
they had cones and stuff. Like you don't just have cones.
I'm a bit
Yeah,
of a
but you don't
cynic this
usually
week.
just have picnics set up for you either. And The Bachelor
Right.
has a lot of those that Ben prepared. I've got a
Right.
surprise for you.
I know.
I'm gonna be the cynic this week. I'm thinking it's. I think the producers came up with that idea somewhat. I
But
do.
but here's the deal: they have carriages
worked.
at their house. The producers didn't plot the carriage and the horse and all that stuff. Like
They didn't plot the love of horses.
no,
That
I mean,
was definitely not planted.
but they had.
No, I'm still on your side.
But they must have had the carriages
horses.
at the house. Like, they had to
Right.
have the right horses. They had to know how to drive the things. Like, they must do it in some fashion in their family. I'm not saying that necessarily they compete every Sunday or whatever, but it's got to be a part of their culture, right?
I think they seem to handle it pretty
You're
nicely. They
on
carry
my
the dog
team.
and everything.
Thank
Yes.
you.
It was totally something they
Cannon's like,
do
"Let me
this
remind
every
you."
week, all right? Rain or shine.
on.
They're out there in Ocala, Florida on those carriages.
Canden, Bobby is a free and independent thinker. You will let him speak his mind.
No, that's not how it works.
Okay, ladies first.
Guys are not allowed to do that.
Dude,
Yeah, you knew that when I was coming over.
Thank God I have another guy on this show tonight. This is awesome. And Ronnie, too. Come on, Ronnie, you got to help us because these girls are tough. I'm serious. I'm
But
fighting-
we're
I am so
powerful.
gentle.
All right, so.
The rule is they're always right, I guess. So there you go.
There you go. Play it safe.
I agree to disagree.
Swallow the
Sorry.
pride.
I'm Latino.
So,
I can't.
you know what? One thing I really resonated with Lindsay, and I think makes her a wonderful woman and why she's so mature and confident, and even though she has been hurt in the past, her mom said something that I texted my mom immediately and was like, oh my gosh, we're so alike. Because the mom said we kept her away from boys and focused on horses. And that was my life. That's why I have a close relationship with my dad, is because I didn't need a boy at a young age. I had my dad, I had my passion, and that's all I needed. So it's helped me grow into who I am and still have a close relationship with my dad, and I'm not seeking that affection elsewhere. You know what I mean? And I see
Smart
that
move, parents.
And I see that in Lindsay. I mean, I totally see her being so connected to her own life and her passions that she doesn't need that.
I mean,
person.
she is such a beautiful girl. I really thought that. I was really surprised when the mom said she doesn't have much experience dating. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine her staying single for very long ever because she's so cute, personable, and to hear that she had no experience really dating, it was
Grew up in a barn.
Someone does need to tell her though that she really does not need that much makeup.
We've said that. We have
Thank
said.
you.
Yes, we
Well,
have.
maybe she just
There's
does
something
it for
to natural
camera.
beauty, and
Yeah,
she's
there
like a
is.
pretty girl naturally. And I remember, was it last week or 2 weeks ago when they went jumping into the water, and she did a little thing where she talked on camera for like 2 seconds, and she didn't have her makeup on because she had just got.
Better.
She looked gorgeous, and then she goes back to makeup. It's like, come on. It's like
It's just
makeup's
the white.
fine, but
it's like the white
too much.
eyeshadow with the dark liner. It's just too much for her face.
Yeah. I think it's so
just
funny.
unnecessary. That's all.
No, we've always
not cutting the girl down,
and we
No.
love her.
Gorgeous.
She's a sweetheart,
Yeah.
but we've all said that actually. We've all thought that So I imagine someone's probably talked to her by now, since this is filmed a few
Maybe.
months ago. But I mean,
Poor thing.
she's awesome. No, she's awesome.
But
Hey,
maybe
it's better
she
than
can't-
saying you need makeup.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe she
Yeah.
can't be her. Maybe she feels like she can't be herself. Like she's on TV, so she has to wear
Yeah.
makeup or something. Even though we think she looks better without it.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't feel like that. She's got pressure coming from kind of all over to look nice. And,
Each their own.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will take a girl that has a strong father figure in her life over a girl that needs,
makeup.
Yeah, any day of the week. So that's okay. She's got good family values. I'm cool with that. So
Whoa, okay.
yeah.
So we like Lindsay, and Ben respects her dad. I did think Ben was a little empty when he was telling her dad, yeah, she's great.
I
That was
feel
it.
he
Like,
is
dead
empty.
silence.
He's so empty. He has nothing to say to convince these fathers that he's in love with their daughter. He's just
Where
like,
is
But
Oh,
in
like,
his
she's
defense,
pretty cool and
he's got 4 women. I wouldn't think he would want to lead the fathers on.
Right.
It's one thing to say something to a friend or something, but if you got the girl's dad right there, you don't want to be like, oh my God, she is just the most amazing human being I've ever met, and I'm sending her packing next week.
I don't see a lot of real moments for Ben though on
Yeah.
camera. I see this plastered on when he's listening
Oh Ben, I just am in love with you, Ben.
yeah, and he's just just sitting there.
Yep.
I'm like, this is so awkward. I would
Cool.
never buy into that he was actually listening to me.
Yeah.
I thought he was listening more so in the beginning of the season. I just think just as the process has just gone on, he's kind of gone
He's
a little
like, I'm so
glassy-eyed.
tired.
And his answers sound
Probably is.
so
He's
fake.
flying all over
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah.
Don't you think his answers are a little fake though?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like you really da-da-da-da. And it's like,
No, but he doesn't even really form sentences. Like when KCB was like, my grandma died right after my grandfather of a broken
That
heart.
was where
And
it
he's
was
like,
noticeable.
cool.
you seem like you're ready for marriage. And it's like,
Just like, what? That's not connecting with this conversation at all. He's just
Guy's
totally not
perspective.
there.
I did check out a little in that story.
I just think I'm not even a guy's perspective. I'm just saying a Ben perspective. He's been there so long. I mean, it's just the
What do
process
you mean
is.
so long? They've been there just as long.
I know, but it's I can imagine it would be tiring to sit there and go to 4 different women's hometowns when you're already dealing with all the emotions of the show, and then sitting there and hearing them list, list
He's probably
off.
like, I'm so
He's
sick
like,
of girls, I can't
Yeah,
even stand
all
it.
I do is listen. For normal guys,
all
one
4 of
girl
them-
is a lot to
All
listen
4
to.
of them are like, and I'm ready for marriage. Just
Right.
in case
Yeah,
you
right.
didn't know, I just want to let you know
No
I'm ready
pressure.
for marriage and I want to marry you.
And let's just have a wedding right here.
Yeah,
And by
Exactly.
now, he is honestly he has genuine feelings probably for one of these girls. I would think he's
I
picked.
hope so.
But
He's
you'd
picked
never
this
be
one.
able to tell by the way he looks.
Well, they can't give it away. What? He did get a haircut this week. Come on, it was looking a little more presentable.
No, his face is just his face. He just doesn't seem very authentic to me. Sorry, Ben. You're no Brad.
Sorry.
Direct all the hate mail to Jenna Couture at Jenna Couture on Twitter. No, what is
And
it?
Brad, if you're watching.
She campaigns
Jenna
for
still
Brad
likes
every
Brad.
Brad Womack.
Week. Yes.
I'm ready for
Why?
round 3.
Do you know? Did you go to high school with Brad Womack too?
No, I did not.
Oh man, that would have been a good connection. Sorry, Jenna, I tried.
She would have been
Thank
on
you. I
Team
appreciate
Bobby
that.
by now.
Anybody
Yeah,
who knows
right.
Brad.
So at
knows
the
me?
end of Lindsay's
He's probably
date,
available.
at the end of Lindsay's date, Ben said, "I think I might be falling in love with Lindsay."
Yes. True.
Might be.
Just saying.
No, but he actually said, he always
He
says,
usually doesn't say the
You're right.
word love. Like,
yeah, so.
What is that? I think I could be falling in love with you. That is such hogwash.
I know.
Like
Why?
that's so.
I'm trying to remember. What did he
might
say
as
about
well
Courtney?
not say anything.
I might see myself with this woman.
I might as well not say anything at all.
Okay,
Like
intimacy
I might like
relationship
turtles.
expert.
Like, what am I really saying? Nothing.
I might have a nose. I don't know.
I might have some blonde
I
hair.
could see
Like,
myself.
that's silly.
So you don't see it with him and Lindsay.
I mean, I really saw the connection, and I had some free time over the weekend, so I watched our last episode because I was like, am I missing something? I did see a connection there, a little bit of a connection, but I just think he's so I think the girls are so authentic, and it's hard to tell with him because he's just so like.
For those of you just listening, because we are also on iTunes, Jenna made this amazing face of like, not so much.
Like, come on, I can't read him, so
Well,
All right,
God
so you
bless those girls because I'm sure they can't either. Obviously.
yeah.
so you think Lindsay did better or worse on this date? Did it help the
Better.
cause?
Better,
Yes, absolutely.
better. That was
Big
my
thumbs
favorite
up.
date.
Big thumbs up. Yep.
Okay. So let's move on to Clarksville, Tennessee. Bull ride. Miss KCB.
This was tough to watch, guys.
This one was really hard to watch.
She was so excited. Her a soul was popping out of her eyeballs. Like she was so happy.
Yeah.
It was. I thought there was a transition in the date.
There was definitely a transition. There was some distance in the very beginning of the date. I felt like when he got there, he was a little removed.
Yeah, you made that comment when we were watching the show. It was a good observation because I didn't really pick up on it right away. But then throughout the rest of his conversations with her, sitting on the bleachers, where her grandfather,
He was checking
name-
out.
Yeah, he was just
He's
kind
like,
of
all right, let's get to the wine.
Yeah, and then he's like, "What? Your dad doesn't drink?"
No.
Yeah, I think I wrote that. I was like, he
Like
made his
mid-afternoon,
decision.
he's like, wine. Did you want some wine before we go there?
Yeah, I think he made his decision once he heard that the dad doesn't drink wine.
Uh-huh.
He's like, my business is booze.
out.
And
Like-
Daddy is a parole officer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that was a little high school boy scared to death, peeing his pants, run away. Like,
Could that be true, Bobby?
He's not a man's
I
man.
think yes.
Okay. I'm asking you
Two
'cause-
things Ben would not want to hear going on a hometown date. Hey, my daddy is a parole officer at the federal level. And B, he doesn't drink. And then he
Why?
shows up
Was
with
he a bad boy?
He shows up with a bag.
with a
What
bottle
was
of
in the
wine.
bag?
Did you
They
notice
never
that?
Bottle of
showed-
wine.
Was it
I'm
wine?
thinking
Did he pull out
O'Doul's.
wine?
I don't know.
Why would he bring that?
Because he's a wino
Well,
guy.
right.
He makes
brings wine
wine.
everywhere.
But was it wine? I didn't see him pull it
No,
out.
it definitely was. I saw inside the bag and I saw the top of it, but he had it in a bag, so the dad didn't see, and he quickly gave it to the mom.
What was it?
Yeah.
Evolve Wines? Is that his wine name?
What is his
His
winery?
wine company? Yeah.
I think it's Evolve.
I'm surprised he's not pumping that on the
I'm
show.
surprised we don't even know what his. We
I
just know
follow
he
them on
makes
Twitter.
wine.
I follow them on Twitter.
Guys, if you could, go ahead and tweet us if you see, find out his wine, the winery, the name, or just give us a call at 424-256-1729.
That's 424-256-1729.
Wow. All right, so get to the home. The dad. You can just see the dad has just got this iron jaw to him.
yeah.
I was like,
He's like, dude,
Done.
you are not going on probation.
yeah.
The house was stiff.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an experience like that, Bobby? Like you go to a girl's house and the dad's just not having you? Because you're a pretty charming guy. I'm gonna say, you can see,
No, I've never had that experience. That
Yeah.
was, from the time they walked in,
Yeah.
the dad wasn't having it. Mom was like, so if she moves back to San Francisco, you guys will not be living together, right? And he was like, okay. In this day and age, everybody has their own beliefs, but I would think you'd want to take that car for a test drive before you bought it.
Amen.
Now, I am
old
I'm
test drive.
very conservative, and I understand where the parents are coming from, because I was always under the impression that I didn't believe in living together before marriage either. And I've grown up, and certain beliefs have changed, and I make certain exceptions because I think it's right for some people and not right for others. But she is 24, and not that she's grown up, but she's a young woman. I mean, she can make her own
still
decisions,
growing.
and I think even though I kind of agree with the parents, I still feel like they shouldn't be bossing her around. I mean, it's
Yeah,
kind
it
of
just
time for
comes
them to
off
lay off and say, like, we think this is best for you is one thing, but to
we'll
be like,
support your
I have a
decision.
serious problem
Right.
with that.
Can
like,
you
that's
imagine
rough.
though, like reality TV, like coming into your home and to
Oh
like
no, my dad would not have it.
yeah, like I've gotta try to feel like what it's like to be them. Like they're probably like, it was probably hard enough to get them to let the
Come on
cameras
camera,
in
yeah.
and support her
Little
to
camera shy,
go.
sure.
You know.
JC, you ever had that happen with a lady?
Many times. I'm a son of a car salesman, so
Are
true
you
story.
really?
Yeah.
True story.
So sleazy.
No wonder
I
you're
love
a
it.
sleazy car salesman.
I'm not, but my mom was like Mother Teresa,
sleazy.
so does that
I
work
said
for you?
he's not.
Okay. No, I do want to bring up something though. Did you
it
notice
work
that?
for you?
I'm like moving on. I'm not touching that topic now. The parents
Smart
actually
man.
disagreed. Because the
For a second,
for
but
a
Kinda.
second, but the dad, who was flip flopping there?
The dad,
dad.
flip-flopped and said he was like, okay, so the mom was like, I don't want you guys living together before you get married. And then like in the next clip, the dad was like, I want to be sure you guys have, really get to know each other. And then, you can move to San Francisco and
But live separately.
And then
He
he's
said.
like, and by moving to San Francisco, I mean like get an apartment on the other side of town.
He's following the Jenna Couture theory, which is 4 seasons
4 seasons. You got to know someone 4 seasons.
before you get engaged or get married.
Just you got to
Before you know
yeah.
that it's worth giving more time.
Yeah, to really get to know someone, you've got to see them through all seasons because people change.
And big transitions. I think
seasons.
seeing someone through a huge transition is a big deal.
Do people change in LA seasons though? Because
Oh yeah, I'm a totally different person during like baseball beach season. Like I'm way like 10 times even brighter. Like
Really?
oh yeah,
Whoa.
I really amp it up during the summer. Yeah, winter is not my favorite.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I go. I've
Because we're all so pale.
I'm like, wait, when the oil comes out and like
Uh-oh.
Hey now.
the
Whoa.
sand and the beach
Oh, oil and sand. Right.
and then baseball, like come on,
And the what?
things change.
Ball?
I'm like tremendously.
Oh, okay.
Baseball Bobby.
Oh,
Excuse
Bobby.
me.
Good Lord, I'm going to have to rein you guys in. Let's bring it in as the wheels are coming off on this and Ben's time with Casey. It just did not look good.
No, I mean, and I saw that Casey, my last note on Casey, besides the rough comment, was, is this Casey B's rebellion point in her life? Because she was saying how she just wanted her parents to trust her judgment and she didn't want them to have rules and blah, 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 blah. Like her dad doesn't take risks and this is her
She is
taking
young.
a
We should mention
risk.
she's 24.
Yeah.
So
But this is a good question. I've dealt with a lot of clients that the marriage, the family's against the marriage, and you've got someone that's fighting for it that will rebel against their parents, but then someone that won't. So it's like some people will go against their parents, but then others won't.
Just
So
to do that, just to go
Yeah.
against them and just to do
Yeah.
something out of box, out
That's
of
a
the
big
out of
thing.
character.
I mean, I'm not religious at all, but I'm spiritual. Hello, everyone in LA. We're not religious.
Zen.
We're spiritual. But my mom is so important to me. If she was really full-heartedly against it, I don't know that I could do it.
So are you saying that is Casey in love with Ben, or is just the fact that she just, like you said, rebelled
No,
against
I
her
think
parents?
she was in love with him, but I think we saw like the crazed Casey start to come out a little
Yeah.
bit too. Didn't we kind of see
I've been
like
calling that for weeks.
I know you did.
JC? We just need to
Told
start
you.
living by your word.
No, because I
You're
noticed
so
that.
right.
No,
Yeah.
now I haven't been here. What have you been saying about KCB?
I loved her in the beginning. That first date with Ben was
Right.
phenomenal, but
Yeah.
she started showing signs of immaturity throughout. You started seeing her like the camera would cut to her whenever Courtney would win something or something would happen. And yeah, and have you seen the Bachelor
Territorialness.
auto tune?
Bobby's like, yeah, it's a guy thing.
Territorialness.
Have you seen the Bachelor auto tune, Bobby?
I have not.
Oh, you'll have to. We had it last week. It was a Courtney auto tune.
That was in my head, by the way, when I woke
Yeah.
up the next morning.
God.
Winning.
I got
I'm
the
a model.
rose.
Winning.
Ugh,
No,
stop.
but it starts with
I'm a
Casey doing
model.
the smashing the spider.
Uh-huh.
And it's just you see Casey just unraveling, and that's why I think Lindsay's a better match for Ben than Casey B. Even though I think Casey
More
is
muted.
adorable.
KCB was my pick from the beginning
too.
to
Me
go
too.
all the way.
She was your what?
We were wrong.
I know. Woo for being wrong.
And
Fans with Courtney
yeah,
for
we'll
a
do
pretty
another
long time.
And not only was she my pick from the beginning, but she also, I think, participated in perhaps the worst hometown date of all time.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Can you name one that's been worse?
Nope.
No.
And I'd have to really go through
I'm-
the old Rolodex, but
I'm going to think that through. I really will. I'll come up with
it's
an answer.
bad. It's definitely top 5. Awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was rough.
There was
It was hard to
no-
watch, and I did fall out of love with her a little bit.
There was
You know
no
what?
sincere moments.
I
Like, of-
didn't. I still love her, and I think that in the end, I'm kind of okay with the fact that she ended up leaving because she deserves better, and I think she will grow and she will mature to be so much a better woman than most of these other girls on the show, and that she deserves better than someone like Ben.
Give her a few years, she'll be just
Yeah,
fine.
She's
and,
going to be fantastic.
I just didn't see them together. I mean, he was checked out, the family was checked out. It just wasn't going to
Yeah.
work, and it's better for both of them.
What
Because
about
that's a
that
stressful
rant in the
environment.
car?
Ooh, well, we'll get to that in a second. But now, you brought up, Canden, you brought up that she may be the next Bachelorette, in your opinion.
I would like to see her as the next Bachelorette.
After
They
Emily.
won't do that, though,
After
right?
Emily.
They'll do the runner-up, right?
Not always, no.
You know who
Oh,
I
really?
thought was going to
Ashley
be?
wasn't the runner-up. She was number 3, right?
No, she was,
No, Ashley was number 3.
Ashley was. Who
Yeah,
was?
she
in,
was-
Who was in the final
Well,
two?
it
with
was-
It
Ashley?
was
Emily?
Chantel and
Yes.
Emily.
Ah, yes.
So Ashley finished third, I believe.
Chantel. She's from Seattle.
Chantel O.
Is that right? She's
Yes.
from Seattle.
Yes.
Okay.
no. It was between her and,
Or was that Womack?
Yeah, it was Brad Womack's season. She finished third, either third or
Ashley
fourth.
was 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took her aside when it was just 3 and
Yeah, I
cut
think
her
you're right
loose.
about that. I think everybody was kind of surprised though that she became the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
At least I was. That said,
So was Bentley.
I thought that I was a little surprised to hear they were going to do Emily Menard now because I feel like she's kind of past her
Disqualified,
prime,
yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
The person I thought that was going to get it was this season after that funeral, that mortician came
Yeah,
back.
Chantel.
And got shot down. That Chantel. See, there's been Chantels from every
Yeah,
season.
but
I'm
she's
thinking
not
back
that
a
interesting
couple-
to watch. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
and she
Yeah.
just wrote a book about,
Right.
like, a memoir.
about her time on The Bachelor.
What is that?
Her life
Is it a
up
pamphlet?
to-
What was it?
Up to this part, it's called The Final Rose.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So she came on
It's
possibly.
149 pages.
That's
Quick read.
Did you
my
read
kind
it?
of book.
It's a quick memoir.
Did you read it?
No, it hasn't come out yet.
Oh wow. So she came on the show to promote the book. Is that what you're
well,
saying?
she didn't
Maybe.
even. She didn't promote it on the show.
No, but just her
It was
face
in the
getting out
tabloids.
there.
Exactly.
Her face getting
Yeah.
out there, yeah.
So okay, now
But I would like to see KCB as the next Bachelorette. I think she's cute. She's fun to watch. I think
Likable.
She's
I think so.
likable. She's the sweetheart.
I think a lot
I
of
think
men-
everybody wants something good for her. She deserves something good, and maybe it's better that she doesn't do it because she deserves better. But I mean, I'd like to see more of her. I just like her.
I think a lot of men would apply if it was KCB.
Would her
She
dad?
went a little
Would her
crazy,
dad
though.
be okay with it?
Ah, good question.
Her going a little crazy at the end turned me off. I think.
Yeah,
I
saying
think
the F word was not okay with
a few
me.
times.
A little frustration, a little passion never killed anybody.
I know. I think if
No,
I was
but
in
it
that car
lost
ride,
her
I would just be
class.
quiet. I would just
Yeah.
cry
I
silently.
think she just like that was
lost her
raw.
class.
She's been on camera for what, 2 months?
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't care that there's a camera there. I'm just gonna lose it now, and I'm sorry that you guys have to see it. And you know,
It was
most
a genuine
people do
moment.
that in their bedroom, and you know, she had to do
It's
it
true.
in front of everybody.
It was a genuine moment. Now, not to be lost in the shuffle, Nikki, who's been coming up strong the last
Yeah.
I
She
have really
has.
fallen in love with her.
Yeah,
Really?
my heart transitioned a little bit this time too. I think.
Comeback player of the year.
Yeah,
you
she
go.
is because
She is a
you know,
comeback.
it's like JC and I loved her the first night. We thought she was
Yeah.
so cute. She looked sexy in her little dress, and she was bubbly and fun. And then like the couple weeks after that, she was kind of just boring and like not that cute, and we didn't know her.
I thought she was a little needy.
Yeah,
I
last
still
2
see
weeks.
that.
I still see that too. I think she's much more head over heels with him than he is with her.
Yeah, I think she's
That's
going home
obvious,
next
yes.
week.
And
I
that's
agree.
trouble. I think that's trouble from a man's point of view.
Which is why I thought he would get rid of her this week.
Yeah, me too.
Because I didn't think he wanted to lead that on anymore. However, I think when the dad said, if you're going to cut KCB loose, you better do it now.
Yeah.
He was like, okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? And that's a stand-up move, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it is.
For Ben, because you guys have
Absolutely.
said
Stand up move.
Why not?
Stand up move would be like paying attention when they're talking.
after 2 months of listening to 25 women
He
go
signed up
on
for it.
slack.
He signed up for
He
it.
knew what he was getting into.
Yeah, come on.
You guys are just
Brutal.
yeah. Thank you, brutal. Thank you, perfect word.
No.
But let's move on to Fort Worth, where Ben becomes a cowboy who he buys boots she buys him boots for the first time.
Did she buy him boots?
Well,
The show did.
she bought him boots.
Oh, but they always get outfits together. Like this is like they always go shopping
You're
together.
right. Were they the ones
That's
that went
true.
to,
They
like,
went shopping.
Panama or
Yeah, their
wherever?
clothes got
It was
all
raining.
wet, so they had to get new clothes.
I hate it when your clothes get wet and you have to get
I
new clothes.
know.
It happens
You have to
every
share
week.
the same changing room.
You're right.
That just stinks.
So my parents.
What did you guys think so far?
Well, Ben's shirt looked like he was a reverend.
His hair went a little
His
flat.
hair went a little flat.
We have to talk about his hair, Ben.
There was that one shot that was
okay.
like.
I know. That
oh
was
my
so,
God, that was.
That was pretty
two
funny.
shots.
We all like went
bad.
Poor Ben. I feel bad for
1950s
him. Like
female.
all he sees on Twitter is like Ben's hair was frizzy tonight. Okay, Ben's hair was flat tonight. It's like he can't win.
Now you're the Twitter expert. Whoa, you just said that physically. Now, does he have a Twitter? Does his hair have his own Twitter?
No, his hair. His dog has his own Twitter. He's got the
Really?
evolve lines, and then his dog has one, and then he's got one.
I think we need to
But
start
he's
Ben
wearing a
Flanick's hair
beanie.
as a
He's
Twitter.
wearing a beanie in his picture.
Oh, well, that's smart. He should wear beanies more often.
Oh, I feel bad for him and all of his hair.
Now, I went to both. I grew up in going to school with Ben, both middle school and high school. And when I was around him on a daily basis, he had my haircut.
Huh.
So I actually, when I was watching last season, or whenever Ashley had him on, I guess that was last season. And I remember coming home on a plane, and I'd watched the entire season and not figured out. It never clicked for me that Ben was Ben that I grew up with. And I'm sitting there looking at an Us Weekly, and I read the first paragraph, and it said Ben Flanick. And I was like, wait a second. And I started like looking at the picture. 'Cause I didn't recognize him because of his hair.
Sure.
I started looking at the picture closely. I was like, oh my God. So I texted one of my best friends from high school who's really good friends with Ben. And I said, is Ben Flanick the Ben Flanick that we grew up with on
How
The
many
Bachelor?
Flaniks do you know?
Yeah.
Well, I just was so shocked that I couldn't figure it out, and I was just like, well, I guess kind of the more I look at him, it is him. If I went like this, you know, I didn't see the hair.
Parted the Red Sea.
Yeah, but like, anyways, the hair was a big surprise to me. So he's not
I'd
had
like
it
to
his
see
whole
him
life.
with that haircut. I think if he proposes to a woman, he should shave that head.
There you
Oh
go.
my gosh, I feel
Clean it
bad
up a
for
little
him and
bit.
his hair. Like if we were on like The Bachelor or Bachelorette, what would they pick fun of us? Jenna and her hair, Jenna and her pink lipstick.
Exactly.
You know,
Let
it'd be
him
like,
live. He lives
"She's
in
always got pink
California
nails."
now.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, they would point something. No, and some girls actually liked. I think Blakeley liked his hair.
Courtney likes his
Blakely
hair.
liked everything about him.
Yes, and we liked Blakeley.
Did
Wait,
we?
Canden, don't look at. She's giving me like this sheer look of terror. She did
didn't
not
like
like Blakeley or Courtney, but you're gonna come around. I'm telling you. You both of you guys are coming Team Courtney. But let's finish up with
Yeah, never.
never.
All right, let's finish up with Nikki, and then we can talk about Courtney.
I loved Nikki.
You
I
know,
did. I loved her family. I would
Yeah,
marry
I
into
did
that
too.
family.
Her daddy, that was a sweet moment. Talk about
teared
girls
up.
with
That
a
was
strong
great.
daddy. I mean, it made me want to text my dad, and if he wasn't 2 hours ahead of time and already asleep, I would have texted my dad. Because the dad cried about her failed marriage and said, you know, I may have readily given your hand away last time
That was
because I
so
just
sad.
wanted you to be happy, but I knew it might not be right, but that was what you wanted. And, you know, it's just, that's so hard.
What I'm afraid of is what if he doesn't pick Nikki?
Yeah, the dad's going to.
Well, we know he's not going to pick Nikki.
Yeah, in fact,
We don't know that.
Oh, we
Uh,
know.
hold
we
on,
know.
predictions.
We know.
Who's the next girl to go?
We'll do
We're gonna-
predictions.
we're gonna do
We'll
that
do
soon.
predictions at
I'm
the
getting
end.
ahead of myself here. I don't know this.
Bobby doesn't know the drill.
We're like, wait.
Sorry.
don't throw us off. We just have our topics. That's all we know.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, come on, you're gonna mess us up, and we're gonna be like, is this Fear Factor? Oh my God, you messed us up. No, but one thing I did notice finishing up the dinner when Nikki's dad he gave a toast. Ben didn't look at him directly, and I told you the whole episode I was just focused on body language.
You're all
We have
about
a body language expert.
Yeah, he is.
No, I'm serious.
JC is
the
an
most
expert.
telling thing.
When you're giving someone a
70%
toast
of communication.
is in the eyes, right?
Body communication.
body
It's in
language.
Your body language.
Okay.
The Little Mermaid.
All right. No, but he would not look at Nikki's dad, and I'm just like, he's gonna cut her. So that's just
That's
gonna.
rough.
Well,
it's-
he's gonna cut 2 more. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not. She's
That's
not
a
gonna,
tough situation for him to be in, too. You know, to have to meet a dad and be like, yeah, I really like your daughter, but you know, like I know it's not, like I gotta keep her for 2 more weeks, but I know I'm not picking her. Like,
and the
that's
pride of the
rough.
father, because I
Right.
gave my daughter's hand to you, and only for you to cut her out. And then, you know, that's...
But he didn't give it
gonna
up
hurt.
just yet, right?
He just said that he would
Support
Has
it.
a blessing.
support their
Yeah.
relationship. He did not use the word marriage. He
Ben's
just
like,
said
I
your
didn't
relationship.
actually ask for
Right.
it quite yet, thank you.
Okay, so we think Nikki did well.
I mean, she did
Yeah.
as well as anybody could do.
She did tell him that she loved him, which
These
was rough.
girls.
Right.
I mean,
You gotta keep
Which
them guessing.
was rough.
Yeah.
You
All
thought
of
it was
them
you thought
said
it was
that.
rough,
Yeah.
the vulnerability, her opening up that she was in love with him? Too early?
She thought that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what did you
it's rough.
think?
I don't have a problem with that. I think,
Ain't
you know,
nothing wrong with a little lurve.
well, I mean, he's on The Bachelor. He's there. Usually guys are the ones that are like, oh, whoa, brakes, put him on, and you know, he's there to get married allegedly, and so I don't think. What is she gonna do if she doesn't? I think she felt like if she didn't do it, she had some steep competition.
Yeah.
Everybody, I think except for Jenna, who called it wrong today, and like I was sitting there like, okay, no doubt Nikki's going home, and she pulled the ace out,
Yep.
and she had to. I think she knew it because Casey going in was.
I think
a
it was
strong
those tight jeans, her
competition.
butt,
That Kardashian.
her little
style.
accent, curls in the hair.
Girl
Well,
was
she had
curvy.
to. Okay, so it's funny that it got down to the two country brunette girls.
Yep.
It did.
Yeah.
He had to choose one of them.
He's
Yeah.
always had a thing for brunettes.
I know. That's why Lindsay's gonna have trouble. She needs to just dye her
That's
hair
why I've
brown.
never felt the attraction with Ben. Him and I, nothing. Because I could just tell he just repels blondes. So.
So you're cutting him out before he cuts you out. You're
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
protecting
I'm
Right.
definitely
Preemptive strike.
Team Brad.
You're protecting your
just in case
heart.
anybody didn't know that I was Team Brad.
You're protecting your heart, kind of like
Guard and protect.
Courtney.
Like what was the guy's?
Casey.
Casey. The other
Guard and
Casey.
protect your heart.
Yeah.
I can't even talk like him. I was trying to do the frog voice.
the frog.
wasn't he also singing as well? He's
Oh,
like the
yeah.
singer.
Yeah,
he a singer?
No,
Yeah.
he tried to sing.
He would try to sing.
He tried to sing her a froggy song.
I'm here with my love, Vienna. She and I have a great relationship.
And they're no longer together, right? They're
shocker.
Dunsky.
No wonder.
What? Vienna's a good girl, kind of like Courtney.
Mm.
But Courtney's gooder. Yeah, improper grammar. I know.
on.
She's gooder.
All right, are we moving on to Courtney?
Yeah, let's move
Yes.
on to Courtney.
Because you guys want to talk all about Courtney.
All right, Team Courtney, what did you think?
I loved her. I loved her.
I think they edited her differently this week.
Yeah. I
Sweet.
knew someone couldn't be that bad.
Yeah. All along, I told you guys they're hooking us. They're hooking us. They're making her the villain. At the very end, she's gonna come out on top. It would be like somehow we can't make her a villain the whole time, or else all the women that watch the show, and us guys too, are gonna lose faith in the show because at heart it is a romance.
Right.
You know.
Well,
yes.
Well, and this was a good question. I'm glad that Ben actually thought about this. Was when you're dating someone, could you date someone that nobody liked?
Yeah,
You know,
it's
like
hard.
I'm glad that he got to see her around her family and other people because you kind of need to see someone in their element and to see, you know, like, does she hate her sister? You know, it's like her sister knows her best. You know,
That makes sense.
could you date someone that everybody hated?
No, well, I think as girls,
Cannon's like, well,
I actually have before. You know, I think that you probably have to go through that once because I have dated someone that my family didn't like, my
Really?
friends didn't like, but they didn't. I mean, it took them a while to speak up about it, you know, because everybody's so caught up in the moment when it's exciting and new and you're so happy and, you know, you get caught up. But when you really see those red flags and your family starts telling you there's red flags, and you're like, no, I promise it's fine. It's going to get better, like, because you're
Yeah.
so attached to
I'm just glad he was
what
kind
you
of
have.
thinking about that before he went on that date.
No, you definitely cannot go into a marriage like that. I mean, that's just not smart.
Courtney, throughout the season, I think as we've covered, has really created quite the little persona for herself. One that I know you love, as do I.
Love winning.
However, I did see a glimpse of humanity tonight, and I saw the first glimpses of it at the very end of last week, where they do that little segment at the end of the show, where she was on the Mayan palace temple, whatever, with the spider on her hand. And I was like, I actually sat there and I thought, boy, this is the first time I've actually seen her as somebody that could carry a conversation that was like, oh, she's kind of likable for a second. And I was like, had to catch myself saying
We are
that.
the same person. I felt the same way. I
Yeah.
was like, wow, I would not even be cool enough to touch a
Yeah,
spider.
me neither.
They're softening up.
No, I
You know,
mean,
come
you
to
know what?
the
The first thing that I wrote. Well, okay. First thing, the mom. She said, "I'd be surprised if Courtney really loves this guy."
Her mom looks scary.
And why are you surprised?
Right.
Because
well, I mean, because she's not real. She's fake, and she probably doesn't really love in relationships. You know, and that was like a reinforcement of what she's shown this whole season.
And pretty damning coming from your mother.
Yeah. However, you know, I did say if this was the only thing I've ever seen of Courtney, I would have liked her because she was real. There were still little hints of her little smart comments and stuff like that.
You know, with Courtney, I think like the mom, she's a chip off the old block. I'm thinking, I think her and the mom are exactly the same. But I think Courtney probably loves Ben the deepest.
Yeah,
out of all the girls,
I feel like they have the strongest connection.
And it's because she's been fronting the whole time, like, you know, playing this card, you know, battling all the girls because deeply inside she is really into him because she even said she felt deserving.
I think she's just into a normal guy. She lives in LA. She claims to be a model. We all know who models in LA date. You know, they're not the greatest. They're not the kind of guys you want to take home to mom and dad. And secondly, she's not a model.
Right.
Yeah, she is.
She was on the cover of Shape magazine.
Didn't you see her face in the background in her room, hanging up in her room?
She's a Ford model.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's her representation.
Ooh.
Is that a big deal in the modeling field?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wilhelmina Ford.
Yeah, but she's 28. Those girls are washed up by 26.
I don't know. Okay. I don't see it, but that's just
anyway. She did say she felt deserving, which was a weird word for her to use. I think that shows me that she has some self-esteem issues, and that's why she's been battling these girls and she's been having all these issues is because she doesn't really love herself. So she can't love other people and she can't have friends because she's not comfortable with who she is.
Which means in the end, she would not be good for Ben or any other guy probably at this point in time.
Exactly. That's what I was going to ask you. How will that bode for she and Ben if Ben does pick Courtney?
If he picks her, what?
If her what are her self-esteem issues going to do for her? Because if she can't really love herself,
you do have to love yourself.
I mean, I feel like she's going to have a slippery slope of now that she's got this guy that she feels that she's deserving of. Is she going to change who she is for that person? Or
I don't think that she's got self-esteem issues. I don't think that she's like, oh, poor me. I think that she's...
Why do you think she's saying that she's deserving then?
I think it's entitlement.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think of it more
that would
as
fit more with the
entitlement.
Courtney narrative.
Yeah, that would.
I feel like it's more like, I'm deserving. Like, I deserve this because I've dated some douchebags. Like, and I deserve better than this. And this is mine. Like,
I was just happy she didn't do her little
take on
face
it.
all night. That little...
with the lips.
That was
She always
refreshing.
eats her lip, which is weird.
Oh,
It's
gosh,
her come
that's a
hither,
pet
I
peeve of
guess.
mine too.
do you guys see her as insecure underneath?
I do because I think that all
totally.
bitchy girls are insecure underneath because I think you cannot be that evil to other people unless you're fronting something that you're not comfortable with deep down.
And
I agree with you guys. I'm sorry for a second here. I got to deviate.
What?
Yeah, I do think she puts on a mask.
Yeah.
She puts on a mask.
Well, I
And that
think
is a
they're
big
setting
trouble.
something up for next week because she said something in this show. She was like, I feel bad for the way I've treated the girls. And then it's like previewed something.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
at the end of the show, she was like, you know, the way I've treated some of the girls, it might come back to get me. So I think they're setting something up for next week. But I honestly, speaking from someone that really loves himself, I genuinely don't think I would be evil to someone, but I definitely wouldn't have I definitely would have stayed detached from the girls in that I wouldn't have I don't know.
That's her defense mechanism, though.
But would you have sat there and been like, so Ben and my connection is just so amazing. We just had this date and we're
Unlike
connected.
yours.
Like,
I
hopefully
think she's
you have that.
manipulative.
It's just posturing. That's it. She's psyching people out.
But I think
It's
she's
working.
psyching herself. She's also
Yeah.
psyching herself. She has to have those other girls on edge so that she can feel like she's not on edge. I mean, that's a game that she plays with herself and everybody else.
Hey, JC, we're going to go to commercial in just a bit, but we do have a phone call. If you guys want to hit us up, 424-256-1729. Let's take one Bachelor call. You guys cool with that?
Of
Cool,
course.
absolutely.
All right.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
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 Who are we speaking with?
You're speaking with a lady.
Uh-oh, we seem to have
we're
a bad
losing her.
connection. Hello, caller?
Hang on, caller. We can't hear you. Move to a different room.
Okay.
It must be AT&T. Okay.
no.
I think that was my mother, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounded like her.
Yeah.
Not that I know.
I was gonna say.
I was like,
I was gonna say it might have been my mom.
I thought it could maybe
I was like,
Donna.
maybe it could be my mom too.
Yeah, because Donna's called in before.
She's coming tomorrow, guys. Get ready. Mama Donna's coming to
What are you guys
town.
gonna do?
It's her 50th birthday.
Oh wow. Do you have any plans for her?
We'll see. We'll unravel
No
them.
divulging.
No
ahead of time.
divulging.
Keep it a
No
secret.
spoilers.
All right, caller, try to call us back if you can. We will go to commercial, and hopefully you'll call us back.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
What do you want?
Buzz about. All right, and guys, you know what? We forgot to wrap up Courtney with the wedding.
Oh, wait, we have a caller.
Oh, do we have the caller? Hello.
I'm back.
Oh,
Is this my mother?
It is. We listened to the news tonight in Phoenix, and they said that Courtney
We should
dated.
preface that my mom lives in Arizona, which is where Courtney's hometown.
By the
date
way,
was.
my mom was our first Bachelor caller, too, so we're so alike.
now,
Okay,
Miss
go ahead
Kaple.
with go ahead with your news report.
Anyway,
Yes.
the news said tonight that Courtney dated Reese Witherspoon's current husband.
Yeah, that's
And
awkward.
and she also dated a soap opera star who they interviewed
These are
on
all
the
the
news
guys that were
tonight,
bad
and
to
he
her, I
said
guess.
that she used him. So for whatever that's worth,
Used
it sounds
who?
like maybe she's a little bit like the non-Courtney team says.
Yay!
Shocking that my mom would
Okay.
call it and support my side.
Team
of this. Okay.
non-Courtney.
Wow.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. It was nice talking to you.
Thanks for that update.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Oh, that's
Wow,
sweet.
Kaple, you had an ace. You had an ace in the deck.
Yep.
Nice.
Can she do
Didn't
all
even
of
know
our
it was
research?
in the deck. She's a great researcher.
All right, no. So let's finish up with the wedding. What did you guys think?
So instead of maybe using Ben like her last boyfriend, she decided to have a wedding.
And Ben was he was a little
She's
skittish.
bold.
He was a little like, oh my gosh, is this Vegas? Like, what's happening right now? How far are we going to take this? There was like a real dude up there, like saying the vows.
Well,
and
he
everything.
said, he
priest?
goes,
Yeah,
I'm
real
ready.
dude.
He told one of the parents, he goes, I'm ready for a serious relationship. He didn't say,
I'm
he's
ready for
not-
marriage.
Yeah.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
I don't think they should get married on these shows. I mean, I think that saying like,
Really, with the track record?
I mean, saying like, hey, let's actually go to a movie and
No
like
one's gotten
go on a date.
divorced.
That's
No
true.
one's really gotten married except for Trista
Two
and
people
Ryan.
have
Hold on,
gotten
didn't-
Molly and
did
Jason.
Bob Guinea get divorced?
Yeah, but
But
he
it was
did-
not from a Bachelor contestant.
No, it was an actress from All My
Shane
Children.
Lamas?
Shane Lamas. No, she did not get married to Matt Grant.
Yeah, so no one did. You're right.
No, it's just Trista and Ryan.
They don't even make it.
And Molly and Jason.
Molly
they
and
count.
Jason.
They count.
Oh,
They
yeah.
count. They
They
count.
count.
It's 2 years, 3
They
years
count.
right now.
They
so.
count.
They
Give me-
count.
They count.
Okay, give me 5 years.
Anyway, so she made them write their own vows, which was
Yes.
awkward.
And then she didn't even write her vows, right?
No, apparently not. What is the scoop on that? What did she copy?
She copied them from Sex in the City. I didn't even recognize them, and I'm a
That's
huge
what Chris Harrison tweeted.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Sex in the City fan, and like Ivy Wed, maybe I don't know. Is that what you say at the end?
Yeah.
She
with
took
the
bachelor
string
license
Ivy
on it,
Wed.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
a big
didn't
Sex and the City fan,
recognize
so I don't
those.
recognize, but I did see that Harrison tweeted about
Maybe
it.
Chris Harrison is team non-Courtney too.
It sure appeared that way with that tweet, but
Yeah, so
Poor Courtney, I'm on your side. So is
but-
JC.
Yeah, I'm still on your side, Courtney, because I still see,
He's
maybe
like, I
she's
want to date
maturing.
you.
Yeah, right.
Who?
You.
You're from Santa Monica, you say?
No, I've always been, I
Like in
think.
our backyard.
Well,
me
she
under the
was.
bus.
You know what? What made me think that she might be human, and again, she might be an actress, but instead of a robot. But she was very nervous when she was giving her vows, like very freaked out by the whole thing.
I feel like all these I love yous were a little forced.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I got to put my nuts out there so he knows, and so I can, get this. I don't want to not, put my heart on my sleeve. Like he congratulated Casey last time for really wearing her heart on her sleeve. So I think all the girls were like, "Oh, that's what he likes." Like she got the rose because she really poured.
Right.
She was vulnerable.
Yeah. And then she was gone.
Yeah.
And so now Nikki was vulnerable, and then she'll be gone.
Yep.
Oh.
I think.
All right, so
So
so Courtney did well for herself tonight.
Yeah,
Come on,
she did.
it
Yeah,
softened
agreed.
you guys a
she
little
did.
bit.
Totally.
No, she did well.
Okay.
I could see them together. Not that I love her or want her to win, but I think at this point, if he chooses anyone else, I feel bad for whoever else he chooses because
He skinny dipped with her.
he skinny dipped with her. Like he gave that card to her a long time ago.
I wonder what the girls are all thinking. I can't wait until
Yeah, for after the
final
yeah.
rose.
Ooh,
I
that's
can't
gonna-
wait for everybody to be freaking out when they see the skinny dipping.
Well, now we've
Yeah,
been kind
no
of
kidding. Especially if he ended up with somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoopsies.
See, at that point, now I think there's just no going back. He can't pick anyone else or he would be screwed.
Looks like they have another hot tub scene coming up. Too.
Uh-oh.
a lot of explaining to do, but let's find out, is Ben really the real Ben that we see on TV? And we're asking you, Bobby, because like we said, you went to
He's
school.
got the inside
Yes, you've got
scoop.
the scoop.
Yes.
You had a bit of a bromance with Ben.
I don't know about that, but I did. I have known him since I was about
your mom's
12
not
years
so
old. I went to middle school with him in Tucson, Arizona, high school as well, which is interesting because the entire show he is from Sonoma.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe he was from Sonoma prior to moving to Tucson, but like I said, and then I think he went to college in Arizona as well. So, but yeah, he's a really nice guy. In high school, he's like your typical dude. He wasn't a jerk. He wasn't the jock. He wasn't the nerd. He was just kind of your normal guy. He was nice to everybody, and I'm happy for him. This is great for him, and it's great for the city of Tucson if he would start mentioning us.
Same guy
Own
we
your
see on
hometown
TV.
when he claimed he had never had cowboy boots before. I find that terribly hard to believe, living in Tucson, Arizona for a decade. that
Call
you
his
don't have
bluff.
cowboy
Call his
boots.
bluff.
There you go. Same guy we see on TV, though?
Absolutely, 100%.
Really?
He is.
Dorky,
He's-
kinda awkward?
Yeah, he's kind of a dorky,
Doesn't pay
awkward,
attention?
nice, fun guy. I don't know. He paid attention to me.
Uh-oh.
I think
Secrets
I
out.
think that any guy who is a normal guy that is not an actor, he has no acting background. He's not like the type of guy that had the theater background
Right.
and all that stuff. Like, he's just a normal dude who kind of, I think, fell into this TV show to begin with the last time around. I think he was shocked to find himself on this now and didn't quite know what he was getting himself into. And I say good for him, man. He's a nice guy, and I hope that he gets
He's gonna
everything
get
he
tailed
wants
for
out of this.
life. Over
Exactly.
this. For life.
And a lot of business
Everybody
at
on
his
The Bachelor.
winery.
Huh?
And a lot of business at his winery if
For
he starts
sure.
mentioning
Like he's
it.
made.
So he did it for the show. You're saying you
No, I didn't say that. I'm not saying he did it for the
But
thing,
he's
but I'm
just
saying it's a
asking.
benefit.
All right,
to
guys.
listening to these 25 women. Poor guy.
Well, thank you for that insightfulness.
Yes, thank you.
All right, real quick, we got to do our predictions.
Predictions.
Super fast in 3 seconds each.
Nikki's going home.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Nikki's going home.
Nikki's going home.
JC.
Nikki's gone.
Bingo.
Bingo for the 4th time.
Wow.
It's unanimous.
Nikki's going home, guys.
That was the
doesn't go
quickest
home.
prediction ever.
Quickest prediction ever.
We all keep crow.
And next week, they're going to Switzerland.
Switzerland.
So we'll have some fun
Finally,
Euro
a
vacation.
nice date. Hopefully they can do something normal instead of jump out of a helicopter or shark swim or whatever they do.
And someone comes back to warn Ben.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody
Who
does.
do we think that is on a quick prediction?
Okay, quick prediction. Who we think that is?
do you think?
I said Ashley might come back to help him out.
Whoa.
Ooh, yeah, no.
I don't know who it would be. I really am miffed on that one.
It looked like almost a guy, but walking
you know
like
what?
a girl.
Sometimes they have the people that were rejected come back on. So I think it might just be one of the girls.
That's what I'm thinking.
KCB comes back.
I think
Says, I'm
maybe-
really sorry about my dad.
I think the wound's open too much.
Yeah.
So you think she would come back?
No.
No?
I think it's too soon. It's
Too soon?
Too soon. But maybe another girl.
I guess we'll find out next week, guys.
Maybe Emily.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. You can tweet us at AfterBuzz TV. I'm at Canden Bliss.
And I'm the Everyday Man at Twitter.
He is the Everyday Man. And I'm at Jenna Time Tweets.
Bobby, where can they find you on Twitter?
At Bobby Kaple, like the maple tree with a K. K-A-P-L-E.
Awesome. Thank you guys for watching tonight. We'll tune in next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.